Hey guys, welcome back. So today we have a 2021 Santa Fe. They told me that they tried to boost it, doesn't start, and when they're trying to crank it, there's a spark. So I'm here right now outside in our new car lot. So we're just gonna check and see if it really doesn't start. I grab a battery too, just in case if our battery is really dead. Um, so let's see. Doesn't really have a space there for your booster cable or anything. You can use this on our junction box, and let's see. You know what? Let me go engine ground. Engine block. Oh, that's not good. So this guy has been sitting for a while in our new car lot, and I don't know if you will see that in there. There's some chewed foams there. So I hope there's nothing a big issue in this car. So let's put this in. Let's see. Okay, it's power. Okay. So as you can see there, it cranks, but I think we have an issue there where it got chewed. So let's find out, maybe there's some chewed wire there or something like that. Okay, let's see. Let me just remove our booster. That's not good. Okay, let's remove this. That's not good. Oh. Okay, let's just inspect this harnesses. I don't know why it's not starting. So far I don't see any obvious chewed wires. Let me just put that back in. No. Let me try another crank it again and see. And if not, I'm gonna scan for codes. And let's see. Okay, so it's not really starting. Okay, I'm gonna grab my scanner just in case, and maybe if I really need to tow this in the shop or not. So we're just gonna go and scan this. Also, I can see that our fuel gauge is empty, but on the cluster it has 34 kilometers distance to empty. So okay, let's see the history. This is just all battery voltage low, ignition low. I guess that's because of our battery. You know what? Let me just double check because I'm thinking our key. So there's two learn keys. Okay, that's good. Okay, let me try again and start this. What's going on with this? This looks like there's no fuel in this car, even though it says still here that there's 34 kilometers to empty. I think I would suggest to our sales department or our service reception to just put fuel in this guy. Huh. No, so it's cranking. So I think I'm just gonna suggest it to them to put some gas in this. We'll see from there. I don't have enough tools on me to just double check on our low pressure line, because I can also remove that and see if there's fuel coming out, but I'm just gonna tell them to put some gas on this and see from there. Hey guys, so right now we have our car got towed in the shop. So what I'm gonna do for now is I'm gonna remove our low pressure line, and I'll just make sure that our fuel is coming out from there, because we put gas on our new car lot and still didn't start. So I just want to make sure that we have good pressure coming out from there and good fuel volume coming out. So I'm just gonna, for this test purposes, I'm just gonna hook up my booster and then we'll see from there. So we got some option. I think we can remove from here and the fuel just coming out. This is the main line from the fuel tank and goes to our rail for our multi-port injection, and it comes out for our direct injection. So the easiest for me is we can just check here. This is just a ballpark. We can check if there's fuel coming out and we'll see from there, and if there's nothing there, we'll see on our main line and go from there. Oh, so as you can see there, there's fuel coming out. We just saw the spray there, but let's just double check. Okay, so we have our gauge here. I'm just gonna hook this up. You know what, let me just remove this so that it's easier. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ignition on and see. Okay, so as you can see there in our gauge, we got at least 70 psi there. So we know that we have pressure coming out. And the question is, why is it not starting? So what we can do next is, let's verify if we have spark coming out from our ignition coil. You know what, let me try cranking it and see, because it's been sitting a while in the compound. Let's see if maybe when they add fuel, maybe it loosen up everything there in the fuel pump. So there's still nothing there. Let's now check if we have RPM movement there. If we're gonna crank it. Okay, so we have RPM, so at least that's good. I think we're gonna check our spark now. I'm just gonna visually check our spark plug. And I forgot that. Let's check our oil. So there's oil there. The basic stuff. Oil. So I think what's going on right now, we got wet spark plugs. So I think that's why it's not firing. Or I can smell fuel there. Maybe when they start trying to crank it, fuel is just going in and it doesn't, crank. So I'm thinking that it got flooded with fuel. So what we can do is, let's see. I don't want to try to let the ignition coil fire outside, because I know when I remove that fuel line, there's some fuel around. What I can do is I'm gonna remove all the spark plug and try to maybe help. Maybe I'll clean this or something like that and let it dry. And after that, let's blow some air going into the cylinder and take it out. Maybe there's some fuel there. We'll see from there. So you just snug it and we'll torque it to specification. And the torque spec for this one is 18 foot-pound. But that's wrong. Here. Okay, so now I'm gonna fire up the engine and see. So it's still not firing. Why? Huh. Let me just remove this quick. Alright guys, so I remove again on our spark plug. It's still wet in there, so I got some used spark plug from all the. I kept it when I'm doing all the other stuff like maintenance stuff and replacing, because unfortunately we don't have in stock spark plug on these models. So I'm just gonna replace all the spark plugs just to eliminate and see. Let's still wet. Let's try this.
Genesis, and Alex is asking you to call her, okay?
So I'm just gonna grab our booster. I hope there's enough charge in that, and we'll try again. Well, let's try. Still not firing. Hey. Why is it not firing? I'm just gonna remove that and let's see if we have spark coming out from there.
Hey Marco,
Yeah.
that one needs a trailer head.
Okay.
Do you think you can put that on for me?
Like right now? I don't have a voice.
When you get a chance, customer is waiting, but he's waiting at home.
Oh.
They didn't have a car to give us.
Does Damien has another car after here?
If you want to give him that one,
No, I can help him.
yeah, you can help him, that's fine.
Yeah, when he's done, I'll tell him. Yeah. Alright. So, I'm just gonna ground this test light. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask someone to crank the engine.
Everyone, let me know too.
Yeah. So right now, we'll just see if there's spark coming out on this ignition coil. Okay, try. No spark coming out from here. Okay, that's it. Thank you. So now, we don't see any spark coming out from the ignition coil. Now we're gonna see on our wiring diagram on what's powering up this ignition coil. Here's our wiring diagram for our ignition coil. So we gotta have power here on our, there's a junction box there. We have a 20 amp fuse for our ignition coil, and this PCBC, I don't know if you can see that mouse, that's gonna be on our connector there on the junction box, and that's power going in. We got 3 wires on this ignition coil, so we have a control from the PCM, and we got the ground. So where's this ground? That's gonna be on the engine block there. So we're gonna check those circuit, especially power and ground. We'll see from there. Okay, so first we'll do our power. So on cylinder 1, that's gonna be our what do you call that? our pink one. So I have to do ignition on. So that says they're hot in or start. So let me just try. I'm just gonna poke that. You know what? Let me grab a pin. So make sure we have a good ground and our test light works. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go probe that front wire. Okay. I don't know if I need it to be cranking, so I'm just gonna put in there so I can see it. I don't know if you guys will see it too. I'm gonna move my, so let me try cranking it and see. So we have no power there. Let me try check our fuse. That's fuse number 20. That's gonna be the ignition coil. There's one our ignition coil there. 20. So it's between the 20 and 10 amp. So 20 and 10 amp. So we have power there. No power there. This is ignition on, I think. Yeah. So I'm ignition on. I have no power there on the other side. Let me inspect that. Let me inspect that fuse. We have fuse puller. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's open. Our fuse is broken there. So let me find a spare one. Let me find a spare one, spare fuse. Okay, there should be spare fuse here. In there. Oh. So why it blowed? It blow. So we get a short somewhere. Heh. I guess that's why there's no spark coming out. So now what we're gonna test is we're gonna test for a short. I don't know which one is shorted in here. Maybe it's coming from that. We have some chewed foam in there. Maybe get shorted from there. I don't know. So I'm gonna put test light there. So I get this bulb here, because if it's shorted, means this bulb has, because the other side of the fuse is power all the time, and it should connect on power only. If this where we know that it's shorted, so this light should light up. So I'm just gonna connect this. I don't know if you see that fuse bulb. Yeah, you can see that there. I'm just gonna probe this there and go in there. So our bulb in there. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to remove the connectors on this okay, you can see still the bulb there, that amber light there. So I'm gonna try to remove this connector. I don't know which one is shorted. Something is shorted. There you go. You see that? So I'm gonna go forward a little bit. As you can see on my right side, there, our bulb is there sitting on the battery. So on my ignition coil number 4 connector, if I'm gonna remove it, our light comes off. So technically, because right now if I'm gonna plug this in, all of it, did I remove my spark plug there? Okay, the spark plug is still there. I'm gonna put this in. So this car should run even though there's still 3 cylinders. Okay, I put that number 1. I'm gonna put our 20 amp fuse there. I hope I can find another spare one. Okay, we have 20 amp fuse here. I'm gonna put it in. That should have shorted. I'm ignition on. Now I'm gonna start the car. Now it started. As you can see, our engine is shaking because we know that our ignition coil, we didn't plug that in on number 4. So I guess we're gonna look for that short. I'm just gonna shut off the car. We have short. That should not. The light should be on still if we have shortened the harness. So now, let's see this ignition coil. I should have seen this because I've seen the top one. There's some marks there, but I didn't see it fully enough or investigate enough. Well, I can see there's something in there. So what I can do is I will remove the other ignition coil on number 3. Okay, so I'm gonna put our test light on that same fuse, on the ignition coil fuse. Okay, that's in. So now our suspected ignition coil, if I'm gonna plug this in, ignition on. So our bulb lights off, lights on. I'm gonna remove that and I'm gonna try to plug the number 4 ignition coil connector to another ignition coil. So there, we know our ignition coil is shorted. I don't know why. So we need a new ignition coil for this. So I know it's so messed up what's going on. I tried to check for fuel. I thought it's just very low on fuel, that's why I didn't start. And we saw that our spark plug was wet with fuel, and we cleaned that. We tried to use good known one and it still didn't start. And I should have checked that we should have spark coming out from the ignition coil, but I didn't know that because I didn't see any and evidence that, you know, got chewed any wire. So from there we saw that we got no power going into our ignition coils. And then we found out our fuse 20 amp was blown because of the shorted cylinder number 4 coil, and we know that our faulty component is the ignition coil number 4. So I hope guys you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Thank you for watching. See you next time.